conditioning in 1 or 2 games. And that's when you tweak hamstrings, quad, calves, and things of that nature. So LeBron is going to gradually be 72 days since the season ended. They won the championship until they played last night. 72 days. I'm not concerned. I'm going to give the Clippers credit. I'm going to give Paul George credit. Paul George was unbelievable. Now, we know he's capable of having games like this. The question is, in a big moment, in the playoff games, can he have games, not a game, games, multiples like this? Because I believe that's what it's going to take. Now, am I surprised he played that well? No, because, look, Skip, like you said, he's an all-star. He's an all-NBA player, both offense and defensively. So we know what he can do.
What did Shaq tell him last night on Inside the NBA after the game? Told him to his face as they were interviewing Paul George, hey, I expect you to do this every night. And he meant it in a positive way, like this is what you should do every night.
Even if he doesn't score 33, have a positive impact on the ball game.
My biggest takeaway from last night is these Clippers are different because these Clippers are better than they were last year. Nicholas Batum wound up in the starting lineup because Marcus Morris, the third best Clipper, a high-level scorer and defender, as you well know, is out with knee soreness. So he was there to videotape his brother getting, his twin brother, obviously getting his ring, which was a cool moment. But he could not play. So Nicholas Batum, who they just picked up off the scrap heap, was in the starting lineup. And guess what? They look different with him because he's a basketball player. High level.
Skip, he was 1 for 4. He made one shot.
Yeah, who led them in assists? Help me out. What's your stat sheet say? Who led the Clippers in assists?
But Skip, but you have to
Nicholas Batum, he knows how to play basketball.
But because that's going to be more times than not, their bigs, Paul George, Kawhi, or a big will lead them in assists because they don't have the traditional point guard. Patrick Beverley's not that. The likelihood of
what did Kawhi say after they blew Game 7 to the Denver Nuggets? He said, we need to improve our IQ, correct? Luke Kennard improves their IQ. And again, Ty Lue, the new head coach, played Luke Kennard pretty big minutes.
He did.
He had him in crunch time because he knows how to play. He knows how to handle. He knows how to share.
Skip, Luke Kennard was terrible last night.
He was not terrible.
Yeah, Skip, he was minus. You tell me plus minus is a barometer.
I really liked him. He's going to change the IQ of this team. All of a sudden, they have people who know how to share the ball and make things happen when you have a lead.
Skip, this was not about how smart in the ball movement. The ball went in for one team. It didn't go in for the other team. I don't want to make it any more complicated than that. Paul George was the best player.
What does your stat sheet say about your newest Laker, Marc Gasol? I told you you're going to have a big problem with Marc Gasol. What did he do?
He got in foul trouble. He got in
foul trouble, and he did nothing.
Nothing.
Right?
And they ended up having to play Trez 32 minutes. Marc Gasol played 12 minutes.
Oh, he had 0 of 0. He had zeros all the way across the board. He had 1 rebound.
1 assist.
Wow. Interesting.
And five personal fouls.
I told you, no Dwight, no JaVale. You're going to miss them. You're missing their edge, their length. Marc Gasol scares nobody.
But Skip, also, when you're that big, you're going to have to get in conditioning also. He was just a tad late on a couple of plays, and they got him put out of position, and he ended up committing fouls. I'm going to give him time. I'm going to give the Lakers time. I'm going to give the Clippers credit. The Clippers won. Paul George was sensational. Paul George was sensational.
And yet, the guy you picked to be this year's MVP, Baby Goat, Anthony Davis, was very quiet last night.
He was.
He made his shots from distance, but he wasn't able to convert in the lane. You know why? Because the Clippers got better in the lane on defense. The Clippers don't have little Montrez anymore. He's about 6'7". Suddenly they got Serge Ibaka, who is still Ibaka. He was bothering AD in the paint.
Did you see what he did to Ibaka? He brought him outside, said, I'll be right back, and dropped him off.
Anthony Davis took 15 shots, which is exactly how many Schroeder took last night. LeBron took 17 shots, and you know what? You want to talk about a quiet 18 points from the quote-unquote Baby Goat? Those were quiet because he was having a harder time scoring at the rim on Zoo and Ibaka.
Well, the thing is, Skip, is that you don't need your two best players to turn the ball over 8 times between the two of them. AD had a lot of unfortunate, and that's what got the Clippers out, got them going, Skip, was the turnovers. They were turning the ball over, and the Clippers were getting easy baskets in transition. Skip, look, you can't blow this moment. I know Jenny read, I heard it in Jenny's voice how she was reading it. I heard the way you received it and the look on your face, but you can't ruin our moment. We got our rings. Jason of Beverly Hills, nice. And guess what? Christmas. We got something for the Mavericks. Now, you'll see a different team on Christmas.
It was a beautiful ceremony. It was emotional. It was moving.
Yes.
I loved all the family videos to introduce.
But then I'm glad they ruined it, though.
Well, they ruined it because I knew that's why I made the bet, because this league has a history of the visiting team ruining the ring ceremony.
I mean, that moment, guys like, man, look at this here.
Yeah.
Everybody posing for
the distracted, which brings me back to LeBron James. I also made the bet going into last night because I told you all week this week, I've told you he's not in condition.
No.
He celebrated too long. And I saw a quote from him in the game story today saying, it was weird already playing a basketball game tonight. He wasn't ready to play. I think he's had too many cigars and a little too much wine. And in fact, we got a wine quote from him after the game last night because he's talking about his ankle. And I was shocked that he left at 7:51 and did not come back because, again, if we could see the ankle tweak, and Dave McMenamin of ESPN wrote that he just caught it on the floor. It looked like he stepped on Zoo's shoe, but I don't know. You can't, if you see it from the side. McMenamin just wrote that it got caught on the floor and turned over a little bit. But he jumped up. Here it is. Here it is. He stepped. I'm not sure he stepped on his foot. I'm not sure.
It's like he slid.
Yep. But
he did. He stepped on it. His left ankle.
Close.
Yeah.
It's very close.
Yeah.
But the point was, LeBron stayed in for another couple of minutes, and he took another 3 and missed it. And then he left. And it shocked me. Not much was made about it on TNT.
No.
And I thought, well, maybe it's THT on TNT. Maybe he's going to come in and save the day. But I don't remember him playing much last night.
Yeah, he played a little bit. I mean, we gonna get
much. Okay. Huh, interesting.
Nobody played well. I mean, he was 2 for 2, had 6 points. I mean, we're going to be okay.
So
don't you worry about
LeBron said to ESPN, he said, I'll go home and ice it, but I'll be just fine. He says, I'll drink some wine that will flow right down to the ankle. So he's even using wine as his cure-all now.
That is.
Oh, okay.
They say you should have a glass a night.
Oh, really?
I have a bottle a night.
Well, how many does he have? How many
Don't
glasses?
worry about it. There you go. There you go.
Plural.
Skip.
I don't know.
It's good for your heart.
Okay, so they say just a little bit in moderation.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know, but...
Where's that place? There's a place in Italy where the people live, the average age is like 90 plus, and they be drinking wine all the time.
Eating bread and drinking wine.
Yeah,
right?
see?
Yeah, I guess so. There's different ways to do it. Well, LeBron was not in shape last night. So, again, Vogel said after the game, he was on a minutes restriction.
Yes.
I think his minutes had just run out.
Yeah.
He got to, they wanted to keep him under 30, and he was at 28, and they just said,
Yeah.
And I believe LeBron, highest IQ in all of basketball, said, you know what? This is their night. It's not going to matter if I'm here. I've gone cold again. He had a little hot hand for a while from 3, but it had gone cold. I think he just said, that's enough. You guys take it.
Maybe you'd have got him to that 30-minute skip if Paul George hadn't gone on that hot streak in the third quarter.
Maybe
you see him 30 minutes, 32 minutes. But once Paul George, I mean, you go from 2 to start this third to 11 to start the fourth, and then you see it balloon some more. And he
But when he left, they were down 7, so it's still a game.
I believe if they had made a run, get it back to 1, 2, maybe take the lead, he comes back.
Instead, they just busted it right out to 17.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. Enjoyed it. I mean, y'all the 2-time opening night champs. That's a huge accomplishment for you guys.
The team that was favored to win it all going into the playoffs in the bubble, the Los Angeles Clippers, they got a little better in the offseason. I like what I see.
Guess what, Skip? You know what I know? The Clippers won the game last night. Guess who's still favored to win the championship?
Love Ty Lue's. He wrapped it up last night by saying it was a great ceremony. They had a great year. They deserved to win the championship, but we are moving on.
You move on.
I think everybody just moved on.
Y'all ain't got no choice, Skip. You ain't got no choice. You don't have no choice. We evicted you. Now you watch us celebrate upstairs. So you can move on all you want to. Yeah, we want you to move out. Not move on, move out. Go down to the forum. Skip, we didn't even see, we should have did you dirty. We should have dropped that back. We got the black cloak over it. But you know, they keep talking, and we're gonna unveil it. Okay?
I thought you were going to wait until they're real fans.
No, we're gonna wait. That was what we were hoping to do. But y'all keep talking like y'all actually won something. We need to remind you, when you win things, things go up. Considering that you don't have anything up there, why are y'all still talking?
I told you, everybody's sleeping on the Clippers.
Ain't nobody sleeping on the Clippers.
Yep. And they woke up last night.
Skip, Paul George woke up. Stop pretending like Kawhi was lights out. He had 26 points on 26 shots.
Met a lot of good mid-range shots.
He missed what about that three? Oh, Skip, tell people at home what Kawhi was from the three-point line.
He was 1 for 8. We already talked about that.
Is that good?
Okay, but think of this. Here's the perspective that should horrify you. We didn't have our third best player, and our first best player went 1 for 8 from 3, and we still won in a cakewalk. Cakewalk.
First of all, Anthony Davis took 15 shots. And was
that sounds like bad old Anthony. How many times we talk about that last
Anthony Davis is a legit 27 and 11 guy.
Okay.
And he was what? 9 points and 6 rebounds under what he's averaging. LeBron James. Come on, Skip. Y'all know when the rubber meets the road, what's up?
Well,
Bust your head again.
It was down last night.
Skip, do you see how heavy those rings are? Can you imagine a baseball pitcher going and doing 100 bicep curls and then trying to go pitch a game? His arm going to be blowed. We were blowed.